What's going on, Saints fans? If y'all want a shout out, I have an ability to do that for you. All you guys got to do is hit me up on either Instagram, X, or TikTok. I'm active on all 3 platforms. And what I need you to do is DM me proof that you're subscribed to Saints Now on Chat Sports. So just take a screenshot of you with the sub button gray, a screen recording of you clicking the button. I don't care. Just prove that you are subscribed to the show, and I'll give you a shout out on a future video. All right, let's dive into it. Mock Draft 2.0. We're going to dive into this. Just so you guys know, like, the mindset with this one wasn't, yes, Kellen Moore has been hired. The mindset with this one was more, we don't know what's going to happen. We still have needs, so let's address those needs. So in round 1, here's how things shook out before the New Orleans Saints picks. Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders, Travis Hunter all go in the top 3. And then Tet McMillan, Abdul Carter, Will Johnson all go before the New Orleans Saints pick. I'll tell you what, if the draft board falls out like this, that's some pretty big names that the New Orleans Saints have high on their draft list that did not fall to the Saints, unfortunately. However, one big name did. So with the number 9 overall pick, I selected Mason Graham, the defensive tackle out of Michigan. To be totally honest, I love the idea of drafting this prospect. I think he could make an immediate impact to a Saints defensive line that needs a facelift majorly. Mason Graham, he's really good as a bull rusher. He can collapse the pocket. He's very talented, not just as a pass rusher, but on top of that, as a run stopper as well. He's just an overall quality defensive tackle. He can do everything, and he's quick off the ball. He's got a nice combination of athleticism and speed, and he does have the skills to build up more of a pass rush arsenal. And with Mason Graham, he is a player that I think was very productive for Michigan. 45 tackles, 7 tackles for loss, 3.5 sacks. Look, I think that Mason Graham would be an excellent addition to the Saints defensive line. A lot of the pressure from the outsides isn't getting there, but Brian Brzee on the inside did a phenomenal job of putting pressure up the middle. So sign me the F up. Give me Mason Graham and give me Brian Brzee, because that duo would be nasty. And not just for 1 or 2 years. That's a duo that you could keep around for the foreseeable future. I love the idea of going ahead and getting Mason Graham and Brian Brzee. But that's my take. What would you guys have done in round 1? I want you to share your thoughts and let me know. In round 2, I went ahead and flipped over from defense. I went to offense. Let's go ahead and draft Cam Skattebo in round 2. Yep, I did it. I pulled the trigger. Round 2, number 40 overall. I'm taking the bowling ball out of Arizona State. I'll tell you what, Cam Skattebo is one of my favorite players that I have ever watched play the running back position in college football. He is a battering ram. He has quick agility. He has very impressive lateral quickness. And on top of that, he is a north and south runner that has no problems getting east and west to create more space. The measurables are nice, but the production is absolutely tremendous. Almost 1,400 rushing yards, 19 total touchdowns, almost 500 yards in the air. Cam Skattebo, ladies and gentlemen, would be an excellent draft pick. If you don't want a running back, that is A-okay. But I'm here to tell you, this right here is a phenomenal pick. If you disagree, I'm here to tell you, you do not know ball. Because if you go ahead and add Kellen Moore to this team as your head coach, holy shit. Yeah, give him a running back. Whether it's round 1 with Ashton Jeanty, probably not the best idea. But round 2 with Cam Skattebo, hell yeah. I think that would be such a good idea. He's a physical runner. I think that if you give him the ability to learn behind Alvin Kamara as well, it is beneficial. And people are going to see and say, Trizzy, why are running back so early? Well, Alvin Kamara is not getting any younger. He just came off the best season of his career, for the record, but he's not getting any younger. So at some point, you got to replace him. Maybe not next year, but at some point. Jamal Williams will not be a part of this team for the foreseeable future. That's just the truth. Kendre Miller, I'm a fan of his. Jury's still out. We don't know if he can stay healthy. So, in my eyes, running back's a need. And Cam Skattebo is my guy. Now, I want the New Orleans Saints to nail this draft. They have to. They have no choice but to absolutely perfect it. Otherwise, We are in a downward spiral, so please do not take any chances. Don't jinx it. If you agree with me when I say I want the Saints to crush this NFL draft, hit the thumbs up icon and like today's video. Alrighty, round 3. We're staying offense. This one might ruffle some feathers in a good way. How about Harold Fannin, the tight end out of Bowling Green? I mean, dude, this guy is a freak. This guy is an absolute monster. I just cannot sit here and say enough how badly this would be a good pick. Because I think if you went to go and get Tyler Warren in round 1, that would be a good selection. However, at 9, I do think it's a little bit of a reach. But Harold Fannin, who, let's call it real, he is the best tight end in all of college football. He did not win the Mackey Award. That went to Tyler Warren. But Harold Fannin was a smaller school. He had more yards. He had more receptions. For the record, he led college football entirely with receiving yards and receptions. Second in receiving yards was Nick Nash, the San Jose wide receiver, who had 1,382 yards. That's pretty cool. Tyler Warren, he was second in receptions with the tight end out of Penn State. And it wasn't necessarily that close either. Harold Fannin, he can do it all. He's a reliable blocker. Not amazing, but definitely reliable. He is a phenomenal pass catcher. He is lethal with the ball in his hands. He's great after the catch. He's extremely high functioning. And look at the production. Guys, these are not typos here. He averaged 13.3 yards per catch. Last year, he had averaged 14.2 yards per catch. He has had 5 rushing touchdowns in his career. This is a very special player. This is a guy who will make some team a lot of money. And I would like that team to be the New Orleans Saints. I think Harold Fannin would be an excellent pick. If you're with me, hit the thumbs up icon right now. Really quick, we got a lot more picks. We're only in round 3. We still got a lot more selections to go. Got to give a shout out to today's presenting sponsor, and that is Prize Picks, the best daily fantasy sports app in the whole wide world. The big game in New Orleans is almost here, so you know what that means. It's now or never. Don't miss out on the last football game of the season with Prize Picks, the best place to win cash while watching the big game. You can now win up to 1,000 times your money on Prize Picks if you use our code CLNS when you download the Prize Picks app. You'll get $50 instantly when you play $5. Prize Picks is also giving away a free pick for the big game where Patrick Mahomes, half a passing yard. He's got to get 1. That's going to happen. You combine that with another selection, and you can win some real cash in real time. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS on the Prize Picks app when you download it today. The information is in the comments and description of this video. I appreciate everyone who downloads the Prize Pick app. Make yourself some money in real time. Have some fun with Prize Picks. It enhances and makes your game viewing experience so much better. Shout out to Prize Picks. Run your game. All right, staying in round 3, because the Saints actually have 2 third-round picks, in case you didn't know. Let's go Tate Ratledge, the guard out of Georgia. We're addressing the offensive line now. So we've done defensive line. We've done running back. We've done 2 weapons. We've done 2 trench players now. I like the idea of Tate Ratledge. I think that he could be a good fit at number 93 overall, especially. I think that's good value. He was a 3-year starter for the Georgia Bulldogs, so that tells me that Kirby Smart viewed him as a reliable, and he tells me that Kirby Smart trusted him early in his career. Excuse me, I had to take a quick sip of water. Sorry, guys. He's only played right guard throughout his career, so there is a little bit of limitations and there is a little bit of concern in terms of how versatile he is and where all he can line up across the field, or on the line, excuse me. But he does have a nice, dense build. He has really good play strength, and for an offensive guard at this level in his career, he has a very high football IQ, which directly will translate to the next level. And on top of that, you can see it right here. He has a very good anchor. He's sturdy. He's physical. He's smart. He's also got a killer mustache and mullet combo. I mean, that mullet stash combo. Look at it right here. We got another picture we'll show you here in just a second. I mean, look at that. That's awesome. That rocks. You're telling me you don't love that? That's sick. I want all that. I mean, this right here has Hall of Fame O-lineman written all over him. That is a Hall of Famer if I've ever seen one. So yeah, sign me up. For the record, I'm all in on the mullet stash combo because my little brother, I'm a proud big brother, he in his high school football team, they all rocked mullets and mustaches throughout their senior year. I thought it was the funniest thing in the world. That was the best offensive line I've ever seen in my entire life. So let's recreate it here in the black and gold. Kind of having fun, but yeah, no, seriously, guys who look like that definitely deserve to be in Canton. All righty, round 4. 110 overall. I'm going to go to the edge rusher position because we've done defensive tackle. We've done defensive interior. So we've done defensive interior. We've done offensive interior. Let's go get the exterior addressed. Tyler Barron, the edge rusher out of Miami. Now, he is a guy throughout his career, he has experience in the SEC and in the ACC. He played at Tennessee for some time, and then he transferred over to Miami and was able to get high-level experience in another Power 5 conference. And Miami was a good team this past season. Yeah, the production's pretty good. 38 tackles, 5.5 sacks. He gets to the backfield quite often, which is really good to see. And he does have a high upside skill set. I will say he is a little bit possibly more of a situational pass rusher, but that doesn't mean he can't develop and he can't grow and turn into a truly every down pass rusher. So we'll have to see what happens with Tyler Barron. But my point being with the edge rusher position, Cam Jordan's not getting any younger. I don't know if Chase Young comes back. Carl Granderson, sure. Then who else? Isaiah Foskey? No. You need another edge rusher. So let's go and get another guy like Tyler Barron. And the other one that I think would be a good idea is if you don't go defensive tackle in round 1, maybe go edge rusher round 1. Just depends on how the board falls. We'll have to see. But I do think edge rusher is a big need for the New Orleans Saints. Now, friendly reminder to subscribe to the channel. We've been doing a lot of head coaching videos recently. Once this decision is finally made, we will be giving y'all a ton of draft and free agency coverage. And we're also going to be going live for the draft. I'm also going to be in Indianapolis for the NFL Scouting Combine. So if you want exclusive videos and exclusive coverage, hit your boy up, subscribe to the channel, and lock us in today. All right, you have 2 fourth-round picks. So let's go to the next one. Shamar Turner at number 129 overall, the defensive tackle out of Texas A&M. Sign me up. Now, it is worth noting, at the Senior Bowl, he was supposed to be a participant, but he did have to withdraw his name due to a stress fracture in his leg that he suffered earlier on. I will say, obviously, it stinks that it had the setback, but look, at this point in the draft, he is a high upside guy. You get him healthy, life is very, very good. His athleticism is incredibly off the charts, and it's very impressive, especially considering his 6'4", 285-pound frame. You see the production on your screen. It's pretty underwhelming when you look at it, but what if I told you he didn't play his entire season because he had a leg injury? Makes it look a little bit better, if you ask me. So I think Shamar Turner would be an excellent pick in round 4. You have a great opportunity in the first, 6 picks? Is that's 6 picks right there? That's 6? You have 6 picks in the first 4 rounds. That is unbelievable. Yeah, do a good job there. Figure it out. Like that, there's just no reason to not take the top 150 picks very seriously. So capitalize, make good choices, and draft smart players. All right, let's go to round 6. No 5th-round pick, obviously. The Saints sent that away to the Commanders whenever they traded Marshawn Lattimore. They can obviously get it back, but in the 6th round, 184, he was on the board. I've said I don't want a quarterback unless it's in the 6th round, so F it. Jackson Dart at 184 overall. I don't think that Jackson Dart's a bad player by any means. He led the SEC in passing yards, and he led the SEC also in completion percentage, so that's something that, to me, that says he knows how to succeed against high-level competition. That being said, I want to see more from him. And it felt like there was some things left on the table for Jackson Dart. His production's very good, though. 29 touchdowns, to 6 interceptions. It's pretty solid. Over 4,000 yards this year. He also is really solid when it comes to extending plays, and I think that that's something the Saints are missing. Spencer Rattler does have a good ability to do that, but Jackson Dart also has the ability to do that. And if you can go ahead and just try it out, I would rather have Jackson Dart than Jake Haener. In my eyes, I'm in the camp of every year until you know for a fact you got your guy, bring another quarterback. whether it's another veteran just to add some depth or it's another draft guy to see what you got. In my eyes, I think either A, you cut Derek Carr or you keep him and restructure him, and then you roll with Jackson Dart and Spencer Rattler as your backups. Or B, I don't like this scenario, but you go Spencer Rattler and Jake Haener or Jackson Dart battle it out for QB2. I don't know. I don't love that idea, but I will say with Jackson Dart, he is a player who I think could add some playmaking ability, and especially if you combine it with Kellen Moore, honestly, it might not be a bad little duo there. But I want to ask you, like, not Jackson Dart specifically, would you just draft a quarterback whatsoever? For the love of God, I am not at all on board with drafting Jalen Milroe in the second round. I am not on board with drafting Jalen Milroe unless it's in the sixth round, for the record. I do not think he's good at football. I would not ever draft Jalen Milroe. But maybe Jackson Dart. Maybe a Quinn Ewers. Maybe one of these other guys. Like Cam Ward was available or Shedeur Sanders. Hell yeah, I'd do that. But that's not the case. But if you would draft a quarterback, just type draft. If you wouldn't, type pass. All right, just a couple more picks to run through. Shiloh Sanders, I went with him in the sixth round at number 205 overall. I do think that safety is a need for the New Orleans Saints. It's not a major need, but it is something to address and add to as we continue to revamp this roster, quite frankly. I mean, Jordan Howden is a nice young player, but if you don't bring back Will Harris, you do have a need, especially if you don't bring back Will Harris. I mean, he is undersized for the NFL. Like, I don't want to say Shiloh Sanders is going to be a bad player, but he is fighting an uphill battle. He does, however, have very good ball skills, and he's not afraid to tackle. He's not afraid of contact. He's going to get involved in the box, and I think that that is something that is very valuable. However, there is an injury history. He had a torn ACL at one point in his career, and, there is work that needs to be done. But in the sixth round, I'm okay with that. I think he's a resilient player, and I think that he's a guy that, at the end of the day, would make a big impact on the New Orleans Saints. All righty. I kind of got a little wild here. I went another running back. Why not Rocket Sanders? Seventh round. Do they make the roster? Maybe. Do they not? Maybe. It's the seventh round, though. Who gives a damn? He's a good player. I watched him absolutely sauce it up at the University of Arkansas. Then he transfers over to South Carolina, and he continues to have a really, really good campaign. I mean, Rocket Sanders is a freaking brick wall. That's just quite frankly what he is. He's a brick wall. I mean, like, story time here, I'm going to let you read this on your own. Story time, just so you guys can listen. When I was in college, I went to the University of Arkansas. That's no news. That's not any new information for y'all. Sam Pittman at one point in time was asked, hey, it looks like Rocket Sanders, he's putting on some weight. It looks like he's bulking up a little bit. Is he going to lose some of that in order to get a little bit quicker and get a little faster? And Sam Pittman literally said, no, because if he lost any more weight, he's shedding muscle, and we don't want to do that. This guy is built like Derrick Henry in terms of stocky, impossible to tackle, very strong, very wide frame, and he has incredibly surprising agility. He can receive pretty well. He can run very well. He is a physical guy, especially in the red zone, would be lethal for the New Orleans Saints. So come on. Three-headed monster of Alvin Kamara, Cam Skattebo, Rocket Sanders. Yeah, that's awesome. Again, you don't know what you got in Kendre Miller. He can't stay on the field. I'm a Kendre fan, but he can't stay on the field. Jamal Williams will not be on the team. So right now, you have one running back on the roster that's worth a shit, and that's Alvin Kamara. So you got to add running backs. Round 7. And also, we saw what Saquon Barkley has done for the Eagles. I don't want to hear a word about how running back isn't an important position. That's my TED Talk. All righty. Round 7, I went with Jimmy Horn, the wide receiver out of Colorado. I just wanted to add another pass catcher. I'm tired of the wide receiver group in the New Orleans Saints just being a joke, quite frankly. Too many times I've seen the Saints have massive injury problems at the wide receiver group, and they can't necessarily fix it because there's all sorts of, lack of depth issues. Excuse me. All righty, so let's recap it. Here's the full mock draft. We went Mason Graham, Cam Skattebo, Harold Fannin to round out my top 3 picks. And in the top 100, you add in Tate Ratledge. But then we also brought in Jackson Dart in round 6. 2 running backs overall. Maybe I got a little bit out carried away, but hey, can you blame a kid for wanting a guy who went to his former school? Hey, I'm a Razorback. Raheem Sanders is a Razorback. Can't blame me too much. But all in all, I think this is a pretty solid mock draft. PFF, they gave me a B+. What do you guys think? I wanted you guys to get down in the comments section, A, B, C, D, or F. Share your thoughts, and y'all stay golden. We will see you next time.